there is a bit of greenwashing that can go on if you're doing these insects in a cold place in Northern Europe or in Canada or something like that, or if you're doing crickets in a cold place
No,
as
no.
well.
Why is that? Why is it
Well,
more?
because insects require a certain like perfect ecosystem to flourish naturally, and they don't do well with cold. So temperature is something that's really important, especially for these ant like these larvae. They like it between 28 and 32 Celsius, so like 75 to 80 degrees, 85 degrees, and
Gotcha.
higher
So
humidity.
British Columbia year round, you're going to have a negative impact creating the environment for them to flourish, right? Is that
Exactly,
what you're
because
saying?
it's very energy intensive. And so that's
Yeah.
what's happened with a lot of these companies, both in Canada and in Europe, that have raised tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're focused on technology because it sounds really sexy and fun, and there are things that companies are doing in terms of genome experiments and testing how to make the insect process more efficient, et cetera. But when you're
That's where you get into the plagues and stuff.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's the iffy part for me,
But it
man.
truly isn't rocket science, and this is the thing that, like, if you're using a temperature-controlled facility in a cold place, one, you're probably far from the substrate, and you may have get that figured out in certain places where there's agriculture seasonally, but then you're using so much energy to farm these insects, and their whole thing has been, "Let's be as efficient as possible, so we're gonna do robotics and vertical trays and all these things." But what really can have impact and where it truly has a sustainable impact, and this is where our vision has been when we started in Malaysia, now I'm in Mexico, we're looking to do some things here. But it's let's create an entire ecosystem with these insects at the center of it. So let's clean up all the waste in a very efficient way. But when you're doing it in Africa or in